All right, welcome back, my friends. Today's Bible reading is in Joshua chapter day 16, Joshua chapter 7 to 19. All right, let's get started. But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the cursed thing for Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, from the tribe of Judah, took of the cursed thing. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, or Ai, which is beside Bethaven. You know what? Okay, how do they pronounce this? Oh, hold on a second.
Hi.
Ai, okay, fine. Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view this country. And the men went up and viewed Ai, and they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So they went up thither of the people, about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. Uh-oh. Verse 5. And the men of Ai smote them about 36 and 30 and 6 men, for they chased them from before the gate even unto Shebarim, and smote them in the going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water, and Joseph rent his clothes and fell on the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until eventide, and he and his elders of Israel put dust on their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, where hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelt in the other side of Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? Verse 9, For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us surround us, and cut off our names from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? And the Lord said unto you, Get thee up. Wherefore liest thou upon wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel hath sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them, for they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also. They have put it every they have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except you destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, for thus saith the Lord God of Israel, there is an accursed thing in the midst of thee. O Israel, thou canst not stand before thy enemies until ye take away the accursed thing among you. In the morning, therefore, ye shall be brought according to your tribes. And it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the families thereof. And the family which the Lord shall take shall come by households, and the households which the Lord shall take come man by man. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, and he and all that he hath, because he hath transgressed the covenant of the Lord, because he hath wrought folly in Israel. Verse 16 at the top. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes. And the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought up the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarites, and he brought the family of the Zaritis man, by man. Zabdi was taken, and he brought his household man by man. Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, My son, give I thee glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment of 200 shekels, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. Then I coveted them and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. Okay, so Babylonish garment. Let's go look at that real quick. All right. Sorry. I know, but I gotta read. Okay. So we got Babylonish garment. And the one that I saw was this one here. I'm gonna look at it right now. It's this one. It looks really cool looking. And there's a whole video about it. This is a Babylonish garment. It might not look exactly like this, but it looks pretty cool looking. It's got gold over here. It's got fringes. Okay. Anyway, so let's get back to the Bible. All right. So he did all this stuff, and then let's go to verse 22 at the top. So Joshua sent soldiers, and they ran into the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out in the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his ass, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had. And they brought him into the valley of Achor. Okay, wait, whoa. Okay, let's go look at that real quick. The valley of Achor. What does that look like? The valley of Achor. Wow, look at that. Here's another one. Cool. Okay, that was pretty cool. Let me close this, and let me get back to the Bible real quick. Okay, good. Verse 25. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled the Lord? Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. and they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger. He could have sent a whole plague to Israel. That was plague worthy. Therefore, the name of that place was called the Valley of Acre unto this day. So, chapter 8. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and rise up and go to Ai. See, I have given it into thy hand, to thy hand, the king of Ai, or A, or and I already forgot how to pronounce. I'm just gonna say AI. Okay? All right, and his I think that's what it was, and his people into the city and his land, and thou shalt go to Ai and her king, as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee an ambush for the city behind it. So Joshua arose and all the people of war to go up against Ai, and Joshua chose 30,000 men of 30,000 mighty men of valor, and sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, Behold, ye shall lie in wait against the city, even behind the city. Do not go very far from the city, but all be ye all ready. And I and all the people that are with me will approach unto the city, and it shall come to pass, when they shall come out against us, as at the first, that we will flee before them, for they will come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city, and for they say, they will flee for us as at the first. Therefore we will flee before them. Then ye shall rise from the ambush and seize upon the city, for um, the Lord your God will deliver it into your hand. And it shall be, when ye have taken the city, that ye shall set the city on fire, according to the commandment of the Lord shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush, and abode there, and abode between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and numbered the people, and went he and the elders of the elders of Israel before the people of Ai, and all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh, and came before the city, and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai, and he took about 5,000 men, set them to lie in ambush between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. Verse 13, and when they came, or when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north side of the city, and their liers in wait on the west side of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early, and the men of that city went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people at the time appointed before the plain. But he wist not that there were liars in ambush against him behind the city. Verse 15. And Joshua and all Israel came if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness, and all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them, and they pursued after Joshua, and were drawn away from the city, and there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went not out after Israel, and they left the city open and pursued after Israel. And the Lord said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thine hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. 19, verse 19. And the ambush rose quickly out of the place, and they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand, and they entered into the city and took it in haste and set the city on fire. And the men of Ai looked behind them and saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven, and they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and the smoke of the city ascended. They turned again and slew the men of Ai, and the other issued out of the city against them, and they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. Verse 23. And the king of Ai they took alive and brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made an end of slaying of all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness, wherein they chased them, they and when they were fallen on the edge of the sword until they were consumed, that the Israelites returned to Ai and smote it with the edge of the sword. And so it was that all that fell that day, both men and women, were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. For Joshua drew not his hand back, wherewith he stretched forth out a spear, until he had utterly destroyed the inhabitants of Ai. Only the cattle and the spoil of the city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according to the word of the Lord, which he commanded Joshua. And Joshua burnt Ai, and made it a heap forever, even a desolation unto this day. And the king of Ai hanged on a tree until eventide. And as soon as the sun was down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree, and cast it at the entering of the gate of the city, and raise thereon a great heaps of stone that remaineth there unto this day. Verse 30. Then Joshua built an altar unto the Lord God of Israel in Mount Ebal, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of whole stones, of which no man hath lifted any iron. And they offered thereon burnt offerings unto the Lord, and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side of the ark, and on that side before the priests of the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, as well as the strangers, as he that was born among them, half of them over against Mount Gerizim, and half of them over Mount Ebal, just like Moses as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded, before they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and the cursings, according to all that is written in the book of the law. There was no word that Moses commanded which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the strangers that were conversing among them. No, Georgia, I gotta do this. Go to bed. I'll be there.
Just not about that. I have to finish what I have to do for your tomorrow.
Okay, guys. I don't think I could read the whole thing today, but I will read it at my own pace.
Just read the whole thing.
Just kind of like, no, I don't want to leave. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'm sorry I couldn't get this whole thing. I got stuff to do. But I will finish up the next 10 chapters. I'll be faithful. You be faithful. You have a great day. And have a good one.